Hello everybody. Today I want to share with you a tip that I'm using for a long time. This tip might change your life regarding learning programming. Maybe not all of you, but I'm sure it will change life of some of you. And my experience using this tip relates to how to learn to program and how to learn new stuff in programming. And I'm using this tip for more than 35 years, and students of mine which use this tip report a great success. Okay, so what's the use case? Okay, as a programmer, you're always learning new stuff, and it doesn't matter which programming language you use. It may be JavaScript or C++ or Go, anything goes. It doesn't matter. And the concept is not relevant. It can be you learn how to do loop in Go, or how to do function in C++, or how to create a portal in React. It doesn't matter which concept you learn, but you want to learn a new concept in programming. And what is the learning process? In general, you learn the theory, and you learn the theory from online courses or YouTube video or documentation, or maybe you are in college or in university. You learn the theory, and then the instructor is doing code samples. Okay, so maybe you can use this video. This is a video that I have done, and I'm explaining how to do a vacation list, and I'm writing here a code. Okay, so student can see what I'm talking about, and they can follow along and write the code with me. Okay, so this is the use case. And so this is the use case, and which is the target audience. Well, I think that this tip is mostly related to someone that learns on their own, maybe on online courses, YouTube video, documentation books, but also if you learn on a bootcamp, or even if you learn on a college or university, I think that this tip might help you. The issue is the following. Okay, so I've seen this video until the end, and now what? How do I know that I fully understand the concept? Okay, so your answer may be, okay, Nathan, I understand what the instructor explains, and I was following along coding, so I know to solve this code sample, and I understand this issue. And my reply to you is that you think you know. Okay, maybe you understand the instructor, and maybe you have code along and everything went okay, but this is not 100% indication that you know how to solve this sample and you understand it 100%. Okay? And my belief and my experience is the following. You don't know if you truly know the subject until you take the whole code that the lecturer has done, and you put it aside, and you try to do it on your own, from scratch. Okay, so I want to repeat it. You truly don't know that you know this subject for 100% until you take the code that you have done along, cleared it, and do the same example from scratch, from 0 to 100% of the code. If you are able to do this from scratch, then you can tell yourself that you understand the subject. Okay, so what we have here is an iterative learning process. Okay, so you have a coding sample that the instructor have done, or exists on documentation or in Stack Overflow, and now you ask yourself, do I know how to do it? And I suggest, and in my experience, you need to go over these steps. First, you write the target of the sample. For example, write a function that compute factorial, or in this sample, you write a vacation list in React. Okay, this is the target of the sample. You go over the sample code and you and you try to understand it fully. And now comes the important part. You put the code out of reach, you put it inside, and you try to do it from scratch. If you have succeeded doing it from scratch, from 0 to 100%, everything, and it is working, then you can tell yourself that you understand the subject. However, if you failed, you need to clear all the code that you've already done and go back to step 2. Okay? And the place in the code that you've stopped is the place that you don't understand. So you can go to the lecturer or instructor code and see where you have stopped and try to understand. Or if you can understand from the instructor code, it's okay. But you need to clear all your code and start from scratch. But if you don't understand even from the instructor code, then you need to go search about the subject and maybe go back to the lecture before this sample. Go to documentation. And after you have cleared this subject in your mind, you clear everything that you have right and you start over. And if you success, it's okay. And now maybe in the first attempt you have tried, you have completed 20%. Maybe on the second attempt you have completed 40%. In the third, maybe 60%. It's an iterative learning process, and it doesn't matter how many iteration it takes you, maybe 10 iteration, but after the 10 iteration, if you can do this sample code from 0 to 100%, everything by your own, then, and only then, you can be sure that you know this subject. Okay, so good luck, and please share your experience in your comments. Thank you.